Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Football Queensland edition of the Village Law SEQFC preview show. My name is Darren, and we have got a stacked show for you this evening. We've got our two regulars. We've got Tony and Lliam. G'day, guys.
G'day, Darren. How are you, mate?
Very well.
You've been networking during the week, mate. You've been networking during the week, buddy. I see all these people have all jumped on board.
The less I talk, the better the show. So just trying to stack it as much as possible. Speaking of guests, let's get straight to it. Let's talk NPL. We've got Roman Hoffman, who is captain of the Gold Coast Knights. G'day, Roman.
Hey, Darren. How are you?
Good. Mate, I saw you guys on Sunday in the FFA Cup against Sunny Coast Wanderers. Very comfortable 4-0 victory. Mate, you're in the top 32 of the FFA Cup. The guys must be ecstatic.
Yeah, look, we're thrilled. We had the goal to make the round of 32 from the start of the season. And it's massive for the club. It's massive for the players and the spectators. So we're all very, very happy.
What sort of draw are you hoping for?
Well, look, I don't know what to expect because I've heard rumours that it's kind of the 32 is being divided by geographic location, which is a bit disappointing. But look, if that's not happening, I wouldn't mind drawing a Melbourne or a Sydney team away without COVID in the picture.
You're disappointed if you got power, right?
Yeah, but I think
for wines.
Yeah, look, an away trip, I think that would be ideal.
Definitely. Now, tell us about your season so far. You're just a little bit off the pace, but still retaining good level of consistency.
Yeah, look, I think after the Lions game, we bounced back pretty well at the start of the season and went on a really good run. And then we kind of had a few injuries, a few sicknesses leading into the tougher games. So we kind of slipped up. We weren't, on our game on the days that really kind of counted, which affected us a little bit. And we came to playing Sunny Coast a few weeks ago where it looked like a loss could put us down to 6th, which was a bit concerning. But we bounced back, we rallied together, and we're back up there, and power a bit far away probably, but we're looking at finishing up the season strong.
What's the talk amongst the squad with the fact that power are 9 points ahead?
Look, we haven't really spoken about trying to catch them as such. I'm not sure really that's a realistic thought, but it's just about finishing the season as strongly as we can, finishing with some form leading into the finals, obviously, because that's a big non-negotiable for us, making the finals. But now we've also got the FFA Cup, so we want to make sure that we've got some good form going into whoever we draw in that next match. So although it's disappointing to not be in the race for the title, I mean, anything can happen, but it is probably a bit of a long shot. But we are full of confidence, and I've got no doubt we can finish the season with a win in each game.
It's always finals.
Yeah, that's right. We did it a few years ago where we finished second and we won the final, so we can be done again.
What have you made of Brisbane Raw's team this season? I was always of the opinion that they were going to be losing players as this season progresses. But it's not going to happen, is it? They're going to stay together, and it's only professional contract that's going to lose players from their squad.
Look, they started very, very strong, and even in pre-season, I remember we played them in 2 games, and they looked very good. I thought they were going to be up there, no doubt. But yeah, as the season kind of progressed, you always see the 2 or 3 boys step up to the A-League team, and that's where they lose a bit of strength. That'll be pivotal for them. If those players come back, then they'll finish strongly. If not, they might continue to drop points against the top 4, 5, 6 teams. So, but they've got stacks of talent. There's no doubt. I don't think I've really seen a Raw youth team that talented in a while.
Definitely. Now let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures. You're taking on Lions FC.
Yeah, big game. They always find a way against us. They always step up. They've probably been a bit of a surprise in terms of not being up in the top 4. but we're still very, very wary of them. They've got talent. They're a well-drilled and well-organised team. And for us, we are kind of up around that spot where a couple of losses can see us drop out of the top 4. So for us, every game's a must-win. So we're going into that with, full strength and, nothing less than a win is what we want.
What have you made of Olympic this season?
Well, they probably didn't start as strong either, I think, and that's probably because of the draw. I think they had a bit of a tough draw to come out of the blocks with. But, another team with heaps of talent, they probably are one of the teams that dominate the possession the most in games. Sometimes they just don't really get the goals, or they don't pull through with the results. But they're a very hard team to play against. I mean, they were the team that gave the Knights their first loss at home. So I don't know. I think they're a formidable opponent. They'll be tough coming into finals, but I don't think they'll be any higher than maybe third or fourth.
Right. Olympic are travelling to your Gold Coast neighbours, Gold Coast United, this weekend. Logan Lightning hosting Future Power. Redlands up against Moreton Bay. Magpies taking on Brisbane Strikers. That should be a great game.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a beauty. That one. Don't miss that. Mate,
relegation battle.
mate, you wouldn't wish that on your mother-in-law.
Capalaba hosting the Wanderers, and Brisbane Roar up against Eastern Suburbs. Tony, I'll throw this to you, mate. What do you make of this competition at the moment with the FFA Cup results on the weekend?
I thought Lions were the luckiest team of the weekend. How was that a penalty?
Wasn't.
Was not. It's outside the box.
How?
No.
So every game you watch Lions grand final last year, 2 dodgy penalties that they should have copped against them. We waved them away. They play on the weekend, dodgy penalty again. It's been going on for 10 years. They get every 50-50 call in a big game goes Lions' way.
Are you telling me?
Everyone
knows it.
They can come out.
Yeah.
Go and have a look at the replay of last year's grand final.
Yeah.
And have a look at the game on the weekend. Stevie Wonder would have seen that wasn't a penalty, and he's blind.
I saw that. I was watching the stream and I saw that live, and I just went, "Oh no, nah." Yeah, and then he gives it. It's like, "Oh, ref."
When you play Lions, if it's near enough the penalty box, it's a penalty.
Yeah, the ref had a bit of a mare with that one, I think. I mean, you can have the conspiracies about Lions and all that. I think Tony.
Well, it's not a conspiracy; it's happening regularly.
Yeah, but that's up to the refs to try and sort out if there is any bias there. That's up to the refs to try and sort out. I don't really think Lions would be in there trying to get Of course, they're going to celebrate any decision that goes with them. But I think if the referees are having some sort of bias there unintentionally, I think that needs to be weeded out.
Did the linesmen see that? Or did you just turn the other way as well?
I don't know. But you're right, though. Should the linesman flag it? Should he not flag it?
You know what? I've been around for 20 years. I can't remember the last time they got a bad call in a big game.
Yeah.
How's your relationship with the refs, Roman?
I reckon probably not so good. I'm one of those players that's always in their ear. So, and it'll be within the first minute. If there's a bad call, I'll be straight up there, kind of advocating for what I think should have been the right decision. So, it's probably to my detriment and the team's detriment that I'm a bit vocal about it. But I don't know. Yeah, I can get pretty worked up.
Actually, there was a little bit of push and shove in your game on the weekend, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were probably 3 isolated incidents. Yeah, and one coming from Nick Panetto, who's probably the smallest guy in our team, and he doesn't really get worked up too easily. So, yeah, it did get very fiery after the second half.
Just want to ask you finally about the culture at Knights. Is it you must win every game? Is it you must be competitive? How does it work there?
Look, we kind of do set the bar very high for ourselves. Now, if we lose a game that is expected to win, or even a game against the top four, the expectation is to win. But if we don't, it's going to happen. Like, you can't win every game that you play. But we kind of do give ourselves a bit of a reality check to be like, all right, look, where are we at? What went wrong? But it's not panic stations. It's not like people are going to get dropped after a loss. I know people can kind of, from an outside point of view, based on things that have happened in the past, they can think, well, there is that bit of cutthroat mentality. But in my view, being there for 4 years, it's not as it's really kind of seen from the outside, or
Right.
what kind of people talk about. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it might be just virtue of the fact that we set ourselves high goals and high expectations.
Very good. All right, now let's turn our attention to the NPLW now. We've got one of Liam's best mates here, Trent Gregson. Trent, good evening.
Set it up.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Very well. Now, let's have a look at what happened in the NPLW on the weekend. Matches were played, right? How did you go?
Yeah, mate. So we got up over City 4-2. Made it a little bit hard for ourselves, but in the end, yeah, Abby's second hat trick in her second game on the trot. She's killing it at the moment, making it easy for us.
How was it playing against Brisbane City with the new coach?
Oh, it was one of those things that, when it first come out, that people could sort of go, oh, it's really good. There's obviously some some stuff going on in the background, but I was a bit worried, to be quite truthful. That new manager bounce, that the players have got everything to go out there and play for. It can be scary. And if you go out there, half-hearted and expecting an easy game, you can sort of get bounced out pretty quick. But that's what we focus on at training. We focus on our own game and how we wanted to play. And credit to the ladies. They absolutely trained their guts out this week, and the results showed.
How was it going from Coomera, where you get your sea breezes, to playing in sub-zero temperatures out at Briggs Road?
Mate, I live on Tambourine Mountain. It's cold all the time. So, but no, it's definitely, you wear an extra layer out at Ipswich, that's for sure.
Let's have a quick look at the other results. So Olympic had a 7-0 win over Peninsula Power. South United maintained their rage with a 4-0 win at Virginia. Gold Coast United 7-0 over the Thunder. East 3-0 over Mitchelton. That was a good result for them. Capalaba 5-1 over the Wanderers when I said it would be close. And Logan Lightning 3-0 over the Gap. Quick look at the ladder. And Lions on top, 7 points. Is this game over? Should we hand the trophy over to Lions now, Trent?
No one, I'd like to say that, I think they're probably clear favourites to lift that trophy at the end of the year. They're superb. The way they set up, the way they play, the way they break on the attack, and how clinical they are. They're just, Shay Connors has got 22 goals in 12 games. So, she's definitely found her feet there, that's for sure. It's going to be very hard for anyone to beat them, and we've got them on the last day. So I'm looking forward to that.
South United in second place. That's the big surprise, isn't it?
Oh, yes and no. Gary French is a wizard. Let's be honest. He's got the connections, with those girls coming back from overseas. And we played Gary. I think we've played Gary in three training games this year. And the way he sets his teams up, the way he can go into a half-time, 1-0 down or drawing, and then just come out and pick up 2 goals. He's done it too long. He's too good.
Now, one of the reasons why we got you on the show tonight, you're currently in 7th place on 21 points. We're a few rounds away from the split, where the top 8 and the bottom 8 split and then play each other again. You're in 7th. How important is it to retain your place at the top half of the competition?
Listen, honestly, we want to be in that top half. I think last time I was on your show, I said basically if we weren't in that top half, it was a failure. And I was probably being a little bit too harsh, I've got to keep reminding the team how well we are doing. The fact that at the start of the year, it was me. That was it. There was no team. There was no one. And to achieve what we've achieved so far has been amazing. We've really rebuilt a women's culture at the club. But I know Meg, and I know she's telling all the girls that top 7 is where we want to be.
Lliam,
It's probably the best Pride team that has ever been put together. I mean, in half a season, I think Abby Lloyd is she's 2 goals off being the all-time best goal scorer for Pride behind Sophie, who's obviously at Olympic. So there's a lot of great things coming out of that women's team, and there was as Trent said at the start of the season, it was just him, and you have to build on that. You got to keep building and building and building, and the girls have really proven themselves this season to be a great team and the best team that Pride's ever assembled in the NPLW.
you're entertainers as well, Trent. 41 goals in 13 games.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we go forward pretty well. That's for sure. But you look at it. We've got the Abby Lloyd and Meg McKelly who are freaks, but we've also got Gladys. Gladys was playing Cap 1 at AC Carina. We picked her up. Jake was good enough to pass her on to us. She's up there leading goal scorer. We got Kate Webb, who was playing Metro for Southport last year. But all of a sudden she comes into the NPL, she shines, and she's absolutely killing it. We've just got players that love to score, I guess.
I think the last few rounds, Trent, I think there's been a couple of other girls there that have really helped with Abby getting the goals. Like there's a lot of players in the team now that, especially the last 2 or 3 rounds there, where they really stepped up and started to provide opportunities for the goals going forward.
Yeah, massively. So we had Bronte join from GCU, and Bronte was basically number 6 when she came to us, and now she's cemented her spot on that right wing. And past 4 games, I'd like to say it's been the best of her career, the way she's playing, and she hasn't played wing since she was a junior. Having her come through has just been absolutely amazing. And we've added a couple of other players just to give us a bit more depth going into these last couple of games, just to really try and nail that spot on.
Yep.
And unlike the men's competition, the window is open. Let's have a look at the fixtures this weekend. Capalaba had the bye. Olympic taking on the Gap. Peninsula Power against East. QAS against MBU. Big game against Gold Coast United for the Pride. Souths up against Lions. That should be a beauty. So top 2 clash. Brisbane City against Logan, Southwest Queensland Thunder against Virginia, and Sunny Coast Wanderers against Mitchelton. Just quickly, Trent, taking on Gold Coast United, how do you prepare for that game?
Well, before I got on this show, I was watching Capalaba versus GCU and a catch-up down at Coplix tonight, and it was 2-0 just into the second half to GCU. So, hopefully they're a bit tired after that one, but you never know. Let's be honest, you look at, they've got Habuda, they've got Thompson, they've got Watson, they've got Corbett, Norrie. They're an amazing team. They won the premiership last year, but you look at the results, they can be beaten. As you said, we've scored 41 goals this year. We're very good at going forward. So, we'll go out there, we'll set up, we'll, likely sit behind the ball, play on the attack like we do. We're fast in our front 3. And we'll look to capitalise on any mistakes they make.
Looking at trying to get that back line a bit more solid.
Yeah, mate, I'm constantly. So, I'm currently talking to some players, and if it comes through, it comes through. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I
know the likes of Lauren, because I don't think Lauren's she's not a central defender, is she? She's more of
Lauren can sort of play anywhere. Lauren can play a 6.
Yeah.
Lauren can play as a centre back as well. But it's hard when you've got a centre back pairing like Lauren and AP, who are both brilliant on the ball and can play a pass anywhere. It really, makes you really dangerous on the break.
Yeah, and there's certainly no blight on Lauren. I'm just saying that in that she's one of those players that you call upon to do a job, and her job is to be in that role at this point in time. And so she's the whole back line, they're doing a good job. That's probably not the actual that they are performing their role in the team, but that's probably not where they're best suited, I guess. But they're just doing as they're asked, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, well, you look at it. You know, our right back was playing Cap 1 last year. You know,
Yeah.
Lee is absolutely amazing, but you know, at the same time, Lee's 39.
Yeah.
You know, so AP's a fullback, but
Yeah.
she's playing centre back because that's the role she's
Yeah.
got to play with the
Yeah.
team, and so is Lauren. Like Lauren come from Coomera last year, so for her
Yeah.
first year in NPL. So
Yeah.
it's been a steep learning curve for all of them, but you know, having someone like AP there just to steady the ship has really helped them a lot.
Yeah.
All right, time to end this Western Pride love in. We've got two
Yeah.
more competitions we need to talk about. Let's move on to the FQPL, and we've got Danny G from Holland Park Hawks. Danny, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Darren. Good evening.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome aboard. Now, you had a win on the weekend.
Yeah, you sound surprised.
Just speaking enthusiastically about the result.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll take that. No, a couple of you wrote us off last week, so yeah, it was interesting to come up and get a good result on the weekend. Long time coming. Boys have been playing some good stuff. Probably haven't got reward for effort, and it came together on Sunday night, which we needed it too because you know we're halfway through the season now, and we're starting to drop off a little bit. So yeah, a good result and a good performance to cap it off.
And this weekend, you're taking on Wynnum Wolves.
Yeah, so a pretty unique situation, isn't it, for the competitions we play in to play the same team back to back? But that's the way the sort of draws turned out with this catch-up round. Yeah, look, it's going to be a difficult game. They've got plenty to work on and to improve on, I think, from Sunday's game. So our boys would be naive to take them lightly. I think both teams will learn a lot from the game, and it's 6 days later. It's obviously we played Sunday, this week's a Saturday, but yeah, look, with Frank at the helm, I'm sure Wolves will come out well prepared, and it'll be a different ball game at our home ground.
Just on that, Frank Farina, of course, national coach, ex-national coach, coaching at Wolves. Did you shake his hand and say? Was there any sort of adulation that you gave to Frank pre or post game?
Yeah, look, it's a fair question. It's I mean, I grew up watching Frank, obviously, like most Australian football fans, and then obviously he was our Socceroos coach. So yeah, to share a match day experience with someone like that in the opposite coaching box is something that you enjoy the experience. But yeah, look, very matter of fact, and Frank was an absolute gentleman both before and after the game, and very similar to the way I think Matt Smith has handled himself at Brisbane City as well. So it's good to see these guys that have been there, done that to a degree, coming into these competitions and not really looking down on anyone. There's a respect there for what we're all doing, and you can't help but admire that.
Let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures. Brisbane City are hosting Mitchelton. Rochdale Rovers up against Southside Eagles. Holland Park against Wolves. Western Pride taking on the Sunny Coast Fire. Ipswich Knights taking on the Thunder. South United have the bye. Lliam, which games do you like out of those?
Oh, geez, I think City Mitchelton would be a good game. I think Danny Panisi there, mate. He's got those boys on a bit of form at the moment, so he'll be looking to get a good result with that. Also, too, just quickly too, we know that the councils like to shut fields with a bit of rain. There's supposed to be rain this weekend, so there may be a few games postponed.
Watch the A-League Grand Final.
And we all know how much Tony loves that, don't we?
We watch the A-League Grand Final. That's all right. Easy.
So that might be another spanner in the works. We could be having more catch-up games, So I don't know.
We don't want to get our boots wet, boys. It's a winter sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt with that little bit of bit there, Darren.
No, thanks for the weather report. Danny, you're 5 points off safety. That's got to be your focus, right? Just getting those 2 wins and getting out of those spots.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's we've been drawn into it. We haven't been as poor as I think the results reflect.
I don't believe so.
It's a results-driven competition, obviously, that we're in, and with relegation open this year, it's the reality is that, yeah, you've got to finish with 3 teams behind you, and that's obviously the plan at this stage. Wolves this week, and we've got some games with those teams that are in and around that mix. We obviously let ourselves down a little bit the week before at Southside. They got the better of us there in the first half. We couldn't get our way back into the game. So, yeah, look, there's plenty of points to play for. We're halfway through this competition now. So I think that, second half of the season is going to be really interesting. Whatever's happening at the top of the table could also impact what's happening at the bottom, I think. And if Brisbane City are going to run away with it, it will really be interesting to see. I think Mitchie a real chance to cause them some problems this week on the back of, it's Brisbane City's first loss in all competitions. And whilst I think they're a class side and should go on to win it from here, how they respond to their first loss will be interesting to watch from afar.
All right. Tony, have you got something to throw in the mix there?
No, I think City will beat Mitchelton, but they won't have it all their own way.
No.
Because they were very good against Lions, City. They did not deserve to lose that game.
All right. Let's have a look now at Capital. At
The two-team comp.
And he's been waiting very patiently tonight, very patiently indeed. Paul Brownlie, head coach at Samford Rangers. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, guys. How are you?
Good.
Because we're not paying you by the hour, Brownlie. You've been there for one.
Mate, you owe me.
Paul, big step up for Samford Rangers this season. You went up 2 levels to...
Yeah, we went from Capital 1 up to FQPL 2. So, yeah, two Rangers.
How's the experience been?
Mate, it's been very good. The facilities we've got, it's great. The boys that we've got, we're trying to turn them around from Capital mentality to the FQPL 2. And that's been a big step for the boys. But everyone's been on board throughout the whole journey. A lot of the players are still there from Capital 4 days. So it's been a big step from Capital 4 all the way to FQPL 2, which is six levels.
So you're talking about that mentality. What sort of things go into improving that mentality?
Well, it's knowing how to win through the tough games where if it's 1-0 you win, if it's 2-0 you win, or being able to score that winning goal. That's the thing where Capitals you can go forward for 90% of the game and they can have 10% of the game in your half and they won't score. Whereas QPL 2, you can have 90% of the ball down your end, have 50 shots, score 0, and they'll go down the other end and score 1, and they'll win 1-0. And I think that mentality of you just can't let any team go down the other end and score. That's the hardest thing.
What did you guys do last weekend?
Last weekend we just took it easy, had the night off. So last week we had a video session on Tuesday, and then we've had the fields closed for maintenance on field 1, and then there was a City League game, so we did a bit of Pilates on Tuesday. So the boys will be a bit sore tomorrow night.
Tony, was there a comment there?
Nah, Pilates. That's something new. Hey, Mr. Brownlie going up market.
It's all about flexibility and fitness, mate.
There's bound to be a good Pilates space at Sanford Village there.
When Paul played, mate, the only Pilates he did was his elbow bending.
Yeah, but they were sitting next to you, Tony.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. So you're currently 6th place on the ladder on 10 points.
Yep.
Where does that sit for you? Were you hoping for more? Were you expecting to be better placed at this point of the year?
I think we're missing probably a leader with the group who will take us further. But apart from that, the boys are stepping up big. We just lost to Caboolture 2-1 at home. We lost to Taringa from a sloppy free kick that was given away outside the box 1-0. So the second round, we've really come at teams that first round, Caboolture beat us 5-1. We came back second round and lost 2-1. Taringa beat us 5-1, second round, 1-0. So we've improved over the games we've played. And I think the belief in the players now that they can play at this level is huge.
So it's the mental aspect's probably the biggest part of their development this year.
Yeah, correct. And just, again, knowing how to go through, and the thing that we've struggled with is capitalising on the goals. We haven't, when we get a chance, we've got to be more clinical. So we're getting 5 chances a game and we might not score. Whereas other teams go down the other end, they'll get 5 chances, they'll score 2. And that's where we're sitting at the moment. We'll have plenty of chances, like against Caboolture. It was a very hard-fought game. 2-1, I thought was not fair for us. I thought a draw would have sat fair for both teams. But they just know what it takes to score that winning goal that takes them on to win the league.
And you're taking on Magic United this weekend.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game, weather permitting, obviously, as we spoke about before. But I think we're going to change a few things this weekend, and hopefully the attitudes are right to travel and do the business and then go out afterwards.
Caboolture are on top of the ladder. They've lost one. They've had a draw against North Star recently as well. Are we spotting some chinks in the armour?
Mate, I think QPL2's suffered a lot with injuries. I know we watched Caboolture play against Grange and they lost. There was 8 people in moon boots for Caboolture. So there's a lot of depth being used lately from, I think, a lot of the teams. I know we've had 11 to 14 players out, and you sort of struggle as a team to do that. But as squads, that's what you're there for.
Terry might have a moon boot sponsor, mate.
I think so.
The Magic United hosting Samford, of course. Caboolture taking on North Star. Virginia up against Coomera, and Grange Thistle taking on Taringa Rovers. That should be a beauty at Blenheim Park.
Yeah, it definitely should be. I think it's a big weekend this weekend for all teams.
All right. Now, that's all the fixtures. Now it's time for me to just let you guys do some talky and make some jokes amongst yourselves. Make them laugh, Tony.
Got to laugh about it. What's there? Who can we upset, Lliam? Can we upset the Lions boys again tonight, won't we?
Oh, I don't know. I've got a bit of a subject. What do we think about the QAS in the NPLW more or less getting a free pass into the top 8? You reckon that is a good thing or a bad thing?
Interesting question. Brisbane Raw are also they can't be relegated in the NPL, can they?
Well, I don't know, but if so, why not?
Good question.
Is it just because it's a prestige thing that they belong there? I don't know, but I don't know whether that was many people knew about that at the start of the season. It's something that's certainly just raised its head again over the last few weeks with a couple of my football fraternity people, and a lot of us just think it's not good form to be doing that. I don't believe. I don't know what deals were done for that to happen, but QAS, it's a Football Queensland's decision. It's not the club's decision. It's Football Queensland's decision for them to have that free pass, and I don't agree with it at all. I think you should be earning your spot like the rest of the clubs.
QAS are in 10th place on 17 points.
Yep.
Sunny Coast Wanderers on 18 points, Olympic on 20, and Western Pride on 21. Trent, you're essentially fighting for 7 places, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. It's really hard because how do you look at it? They say QIS is our our youth development program. People like, Holly McQueen went to the QAS and now she's in the Young Matildas. I know there's another 2 girls from the QAS that are going to the Young Matildas camp. So at the end of the day, it is a development pathway, and there's that much turnover in that sort of squad year to year, with different girls coming through to age and different girls aging out, that it's not like, maybe like it's not like a Pride where, Meg's going to be with us for, 5 years. You can't be in that team for 5 years. So it's hard. You have one great generation come through and take the NPL by storm, and the next year, you're no good and you're relegated. And it's just sort of, I think you've got to give some consistency to a team that's our pathway to professional football.
Where does that leave the rest of the girls in their development in other clubs as well? I mean, I just with Pride especially, you also have some reasonable turnover of girls as well, because of the coaching staff or whatever coming and going and that, and I don't know what I'm getting at there, but I earn your
I can see where you're coming from. Like, listen, it's probably not fair. Yeah, if that's it, it's probably not.
What if they were dead last on the ladder? And all of a sudden they go to 8th, and someone like, I don't know, someone like Olympic or Pride are really starting to battle it out to try and get in that top 8, and then they miss out because QAS come up. I think it's a bit of a slap in the face.
Don't get me wrong. If it could cost me our spot, it could cost us our spot in the NPL.
And and that hasn't been my thought process with this. Just in general.
Oh no, it's been mine though. It's been mine. Don't get me wrong. I put this is a full-time job for me, and but I guess they're trying to make that team if you want your kids to play in W League, this is the team you're playing. And that's how it is. And it's you look across any code, and that's there's always a team like that. So it's just how do you fight the system, I guess.
Yeah.
Roman, are you still with us?
No, I think he left.
Right. Okay.
You know what? There's so many academies going on around Brisbane and everywhere now at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, striking.
I wonder how many players those academies. How many players have actually gone anywhere?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
I feel it's just a money spin. I mean, it's happening at strikers now as well.
For everyone, and there's nothing happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of little academies everywhere, isn't there? It's just and what does? Yeah, you're right. Does anybody come out of it? Does anybody get anything out of it?
No. The only place making anything out of it is the place that are taking $80 of the kids every week.
Yeah, I've often thought about that, about the amount of academies around. Anyway,
I like the goalkeeping academy because you look good if you're against another goalkeeper.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
That's the show for this week. Let's blow the full-time whistle there. Vedran Becijevic from Brisbane Strikers will be one of our guests next week. He is locked in.
Tony.
I'm ready.
Get your questions ready, guys.
Why couldn't we get Bruce Dinstar on?
What's that?
Why couldn't we get Bruce on?
Well, I'll ask Vedran if he can get Bruce next to him at the same time.
Because I reckon every question you'll get no comment.
All right. So that's the Football Queensland edition of the Village Law SEQFC preview show. Thank you for tuning in this week. These shows are getting longer and longer, aren't they? My goodness.
Too many guests, mate.
Too many guests. Too many interesting guests.
Oh, yeah. Where's my mate Brownlie? Has he gone home already?
Nah, not yet, mate.
Right.
Still here watching your face.
Hey, that service must be due on that good soon.
Oh, always, mate.
All right, rule the line. That's the show.
Boys.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
I know.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.